Whoa! Over 500,000! This is incredible! Yes!
You're lying in bed, 2:17 a.m. You tap open your banking app one more time just to be sure. And there it is, $50,142. Your breath catches. That number you'd been grinding toward for 3 years. The emergency fund, the I'm finally adulting milestone. You did it. You actually did it. You imagine telling your friends over brunch next weekend. That quiet pride when someone asks, "How's life?" And you can finally say, "Honestly, stable."
Ugh, day
But
472
then
already?
your phone buzzes. A
Just one
notification
more
from your
slice.
credit card. You've been pre-approved for a $15K credit line increase. Another from your brokerage. Ready to upgrade your portfolio? Your landlord emails about market rate adjustments for your lease renewal. And just like that, the finish line you crossed starts moving. The system didn't throw confetti, it threw temptation. Hitting 50K feels like winning the game until you realize the rules changed the second you arrived. That number isn't a victory lap, it's when the real traps activate. Here's the brutal part. That sinking feeling isn't your fault, it's structural. Think of saving your first 50K like climbing a roller coaster hill in the dark. You're straining, sweating, muscles burning.
For 6 months, we have
Finally,
rent, utilities,
you
and
crest the
groceries,
top.
plus transport and
Relief.
entertainment, giving us a
But the coaster
$40,000
doesn't
floor.
stop there. It immediately plunges into a series of loops designed to fling you right back to the bottom, and almost everyone gets flung. Federal Reserve data shows nearly 40% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency. But even among those who do hit 50K, most lose ground within 18 months. Not because they're bad with money, because the moment stability hits, the world starts treating you like a target. Banks see low-risk borrower and flood you with shiny offers. Apps nudge you toward lifestyle upgrades you couldn't afford last year, but suddenly deserve. And that's when the silent tax kicks in. The inflation of expectations nobody puts on a spreadsheet. My name is
Whoa,
Ted
it's climbing
Yella.
fast!
I'm
Yes,
obsessed
keep
with how
going!
money
Almost
actually
there!
works
Woohoo!
when
1
nobody's
million!
watching. And look, this is education and entertainment only, not financial advice. I'm not a certified advisor. Talk to a real pro before making moves. But let's pull back the curtain on what happens after the milestone. Phase 1 was simple. Survive. Every dollar mattered. You packed lunches, canceled subscriptions, felt that tiny victory swiping your debit card knowing it wouldn't bounce. Phase 2, that's where the system gets sneaky. The moment your account balance looks healthy, algorithms reclassify you. You're no longer a risk, you're a revenue stream. Banks offer higher credit limits because they know stable people feel entitled to breathe after years of restriction. That $300 a month coffee habit you skipped, now it feels like a reward. That's not weakness, that's human psychology meeting engineered temptation. The real inflation nobody tracks isn't in the CPI report. It's the inflation of your own standards the second scarcity lifts. And the system is tuned so precisely that most people never wander too far from paycheck dependency. Not because they fail, because the path back is paved with "you deserve this" messaging. Let's talk math for a second, because feelings lie, but spreadsheets don't. If you protect that 50K and grow it at just 6% annually, boring index funds, no crypto moonshots. In 5 years, you've added $17,000 without lifting a finger. But if you celebrate by leasing a nicer car, adding $400 a month in payments, you've erased $24,000 of potential growth before interest even kicks in. Vanguard's research shows the average investor underperforms the market by nearly 2% annually, not from bad picks, but from emotional timing, buying high after gains, selling low after dips. That gap is the cost of feeling deserving right after a win. Boring wins because it ignores the sirens. Safe wins because it treats money like oxygen, necessary, invisible, and only noticed when it's gone. Meet Alex and Jordan. Both hit $50,000 in early 2025. Alex felt that wave of relief and did what felt natural. Upgraded the apartment, got the premium phone plan, started treating themselves to dinners out twice a week. Within 14 months, that $50K was gone, replaced by a nicer lifestyle but the same anxiety. Jordan did something weird, set a floor rule. $40,000 became untouchable, emergency fund plus 6 months of bills. The remaining $10,000 got split, 70% into automatic investments, 30% for intentional fun with a cap. When the credit limit offers came, Jordan deleted the emails. When the lease renewal hit, negotiated based on payment history, didn't just accept the hike. 2 years later, Jordan's floor is now $68,000, not because they got a massive raise, but because they treated the first $50,000 like a foundation, not a finish line. One study tracking self-made millionaires found 80% maintained pre-wealth spending habits for at least 3 years after hitting 7 figures. The ones who didn't, often back to square one within a decade. So here's your playbook. Steal it. 1. Set your floor immediately. Calculate 6 months of actual expenses, not dreams, and lock that amount away. Out of sight, out of mind. 2. Build your growth layer. Automate 15% of every dollar that comes in, paycheck, tax refund, side hustle, straight into investments before you see it. 3. Create an options layer. Only after floor and growth are funded do you allocate guilt-free spending money and cap it. 4. Be suspicious of every congrats email from a bank. Their profit is your behavioral slip-up. Delete first, think later. Money isn't about the number in your account. It's about options. That $50,000 isn't a trophy. It's your first real option to say no without panic. The real catch? Nobody teaches you to protect the floor. They sell you the finish line fantasy because finish lines create customers. But freedom isn't crossing a number. It's knowing that number can't vanish because you treated it like a starting point. So guard your first $50,000 like it's the foundation of your life, because it is. Not the roof, not the party on the roof, the foundation. Build up from there. Everything else is just decoration waiting to collapse.
Save first? That's an option. But look at this! Buy now, pay later!